Yeah, right. We'll ride into the house. Right, 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 right. Let me put my St. Louis hat on. Right, right, yeah. See, I'm a St. Louis nigga, a money go getter. No matter how I look, because the money go getter. I'm the
Yeah.
same little nigga, a UC
We in this
nigga. I
motherfucker.
have
This
a
what we
water
do.
park
This what
right
we do it
straight
for
on
all
me.
day.
I'm a
Every
MZ
day.
nigga,
Get you
a
some.
White Castle
Get you
nigga,
some.
a dice
From
shooting
the
guy, my
field
no
to
face plant
Hillsdale,
nigga. I'm a
the
north
people that
side nigga,
made
I'm
me,
a east
the
side
people
nigga, my west
that
side,
made me the
south
motherfucker
side,
that I am.
boulevard nigga. I keep St. Louis on
Everybody,
my back, St.
everybody, my
Louis on my
brother, my
hat,
mom.
St.
Shout
Louis
out to
on my
everybody
tag.
on the
So how
block.
real is that? I
We
got a
keeping
St.
this
Louis
shit real.
address,
We keeping
St.
this
Louis
shit bucky.
assets, St. Louis
Welcome to our
clubbing where the
motherfucking
St. Louis
show.
asset,
We
St. Louis
are
waves
the
in my
all
St. Louis
active
J's, call the
Monday
St.
morning
Louis
quarterback.
pace in
This
my
is what we
St.
do it
Louis
for
days.
everybody. Look at
Now
that.
I'm
If you ain't
international,
got
St.
one,
Louis
you need to
with
get
a
one.
St. Louis
That's what it
swag,
is. They
these
can
St.
talk all
Louis
that
pace.
shit,
I'm a
but
St.
at the
Louis
end of the day,
nigga,
once
a
you
money
earn it,
go
it's
getter.
yours
No matter
forever.
how I look,
But
because the
anyway,
money
fuck
go
all that. This
getter.
is what
I'm
we
the
do.
same little
So,
nigga, a UC
without
nigga.
further
I
ado,
have a
welcome to the
water
show,
park
the
right St. Paul,
Monday morning
nigga. I'm a
quarterback
MZ
week,
nigga.
motherfucking Tuesday. Let's get it on. So we gotta introduce my co-host, Roy. What you got?
It's on like my jump shot.
You straight.
Swish.
Hijack that man slogan. Listen, welcome everybody. We're gonna shout out our sponsors on Broadway. If you ever in St. Louis, you need some liquor. That's where I get my liquor. That's where he get his liquor when he in town. Down there, right next to Safeway, it's the yellow spot. Go holler at my boy Moan, aka El Patron. Uh, disclaimer: the views of the Monday morning quarterback and the Thursday morning pre-cap are not necessarily those of the commissioner, the co-commissioner, and the league at large. These are strictly our opinions. Utilize them at your will. If you take our advice, that shit work out, give us our credit. Just shit don't work out, you a grown fucking man. Run your own team. Shit. We got so what you got to start with? What's on your mind, Roy, for the Rankings crew?
Well, we got to start with the game of the week,
Mm. You
and
gonna jump right in, huh? You ain't want to talk to the people. That we get right to the game of the week. So we got a
it's been
team
a very
commission and
interesting week.
Chivo Burgers.
It's been a very, very interesting week.
Uh huh.
But before we even go in, we need to go back to the Thursday morning pre-cap.
Uh huh. I was there.
We did an interview, and team for the Chivo Burger said they had one word
Mm-hmm.
for team commish, and that was
Bitch.
bitch.
I
Wait a
remember
minute.
that.
That was bitch.
What was it? Cuz? What was it?
Was bitch. And we just like to say we seen it, we heard it. We didn't get mad about it because we actually agreed because we in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we in this bitch. So let's get right down to it. And I
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna bore you guys with numbers and this and that, but I will say Team Commish came to play. They didn't bullshit around. All they big dog, and we still ain't done because we still got Barkley and How Pitt's going tomorrow. But
Mm-hmm.
pretty much everybody else, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes, everybody else came and not only did what they supposed to do, they gave us a little extra.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Metcalf stepped up. Uh, St. Brown, he didn't have a great week last week. This week, stepped up.
Stepped up.
A Chain stepped up. Now, it wasn't a completely clean game
Mm-hmm.
because our defense, we had some defensive guys either get hurt during the game or just
Fuck.
flat out shit the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Our defense, it's gonna be some changes. We not just gonna rest on our laurels and act, because we having a good week. We just gonna not address it. We
Mm-hmm.
see some problems, they will be addressed.
Okay.
As far as Chivo burgers go,
Mm-hmm.
now they didn't bring their best game,
I
uh,
agree.
but It is what I was saying when I was telling Chivo Burgers about starting Deontay Johnson against with that Carolina offense.
You did.
Ah, and that Carolina offense is a mess. If I had any shares of anybody in that offense, I stay away from them for a while. They got to figure out some stuff. But
Okay.
the biggest shocker, I think, to this season with Chivo Burgers is he traded a boatload for Sam Laporta, and Sam Laporta has come back to the pack. That's supposed to have been his ace in the hole, and it came back to the pack. Now Brees Hall had a great game today,
Mm-hmm.
but the rookie, the rookie had 20 points on the bench, and if you know, it looked like I had two receiving TDs. That'd have went to uh, Garrett Wilson, or even went to Brees Hall.
Mm-hmm.
That
It's a different game.
it's a
Not,
different
not,
game.
not by. It's closer. Definitely.
I think that's
It's a
actually
different
20
game.
points
We're just
on
gonna agree
top.
it's a different game.
Yeah, that's actually 20 points on top of it. But like I said, he has some stinkers
Hmm.
on offense. His defense looked good, but his money maker and what's been Chivo money maker for the last 3 seasons,
Hmm.
Dallas defense. Oh, and they shit the bed.
They did.
They
They
shit the
did.
bed hard. So that's all I got. I mean, as far as team commish go, I looked at their schedule, and this was their roadblock.
Mm.
Next, the
Okay.
next four, three of them is against the North Division, and
Oh,
oh,
we're gonna get to them in a second.
yes, we will.
We'll
Okay,
get to them in a
so
second.
they
So
should. Well, three of them's against the North, and then they got uh the Lions
the
next,
Lions.
and we'll get
I'm
to
gonna get to that too.
that.
The way I see it, like I said, at the end of the day, you are absolutely correct. For the most part, everything is everything. You have this. This is the way. Also, outside of the numbers, the way you are the number one team in the South right now. With who is this? You got U City Lions. The South is everything goes through the South. 100% through the
Yeah,
South.
this was the game to remain undefeated.
Game of the week. So it goes the way it appears. Chibo Burgers going down to 500. Team Commish goes 2-0 on their way to their 17-0 season that they say they're going to get. Um, but next week, Chibo Burgers has a bounce back game, hopefully against the World Boss, and U City Lions is the Team Commish next week's opponent. So we move over to this dreadful game, Broad Street Bullyfoots and the Black Republicans.
Mm,
Yes. And not only this is what's up. This is our stinker of the week game, and we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on it. But the only reason it's going to get its billing above and we get a little bit of time is because it has the champs in it, and the champs are not championing these days.
mm.
Currently, they sit 1-0 in the stinker that they had last week, where they were under 200, but they were able to kick the shit out of the people's champ to go 1-0, but still under 200, not championship like. Then you got the Black Republicans, the worst team in the league, the worst, and I know the second worst team in the league, and I'm gonna get to them, but the worst team in the league, 179, and you are gonna win a game at 179, which is totally fucking disgusting. It is deplorable, but I expect this from you, the Black Republic, because you haven't been relevant in years. One playoff appearance in 7 years. BSB, you are the champions, and this is well beneath you. And I am surprised, shocked, and appalled. And I'm going to let you know that I am disgusted. I'm not even going to go into y'all numbers. What you got?
Um, Broad Street Bullyfoot. if Trevor Lawrence and ETN don't get their act together, he's gonna need more out of them. But I mean, it's panic time, and it's panic time, but there's nothing you can do
Okay.
because Tyreek Hill lost his quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a death sentence for him, but those 30, 40 point games might, the highs might be just 20 now.
Do you think that Tua comes back with the cushies? You think you think he come
I
back?
think I don't think he's gonna retire. I think he will come back with the big bubble head
Mm-hmm.
helmet, but it'll probably be at least a month. It'll be November before he comes
Mm-hmm.
back.
Okay.
Uh, this Brandon Ayuk thing, it's
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks now. He needs to get it together, and then after that, I mean, it's problems. It's problems. Like it's problems. Like you need. I mean, some of the better teams, even some of the teams
The
that we
mids.
don't consider, yeah, the better team is putting up over 200. So
You have
it's
yet
a
to do so.
problem. Nobody in this division this week has
Mm,
scored. It's going to score over 200. This is
nobody.
one. This is one of the worst divisions, and this is supposed to be the premier team in this division, and
It's
it's a problem.
it
It is
is.
a problem.
Mm. And the reality is they got their that 186 was the point total that they had last week, and they're 20 points below that on
Mm,
what the projected total is to be. And the overall reality is, as you said, there's almost nothing you can do about it. You need DJ Moore to step up. You need Lawrence to step up. Chiggy, that was a good. Chiggy had an off game to me. I think Chiggy's better than that. You got Spears, 7 points, ain't gonna do it. IU 9, that ain't gonna do it. It just is. But I mean, that's all I got, y'all. Basically, at the end of the
shout
year,
out,
you
shout,
lose to the
shout out to the Black Republic. What a gritty
huh?
win.
The
I
Black
mean,
Republicans.
it's
No,
not
a pretty win. I please keep that same
that
energy. Keep that.
gritty. A gritty win.
Oh, okay, a gritty
Gritty
win. I thought
win.
it was, yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
gritty win against the champions. And listen, this is the second year in a row
They took somebody
that the
out.
Black Republicans has beat the defending champs.
Hmm.
So
Those are facts. That is 100% facts. Second year in a row, the Black Republicans have defeated the defending champ. We moving on. Let's go ahead and get all these stinkers out the way. You want to get all these stinkers out the way, man?
yeah, let's get it out the way.
New York City Matrix and the People's Champ. Matrix last week was wow. They went out there and they have come back to reality. They have come back to earth. Neighbors, 32 points, the number 2 overall pick, amazing. Fairbairn, good pickup. People's champ, you got Lamb doing what Lamb does, Spillane and Burrow. Burrow got 19. So Burrow's back to doing what Burrow does as far as point wise. But is that stack that you sold your soul for? Is it really as the world boss would say, stacking?
Mm,
I personally don't think so. But again, this is week 2, and I'm not condemning it. And this is more so a rollover from last year. I'm not, my show, and you came in the chat room and kind of gave me shit, jumped on the nigga back. But I reported how I see it, and my eye is my eye. But overall, this team is in serious trouble. I believe I said this last year, and you guys can go check the tape check. I didn't believe that People's Champ was for real. I believe that it was fool's gold. And they
mm.
finished wonderful last year. They did their thing, but I believe this team is back to reality. 90% chance that the Matrix goes out there and beats y'all with a dismal 184. Say it. Say it. You are a friend of the show. You are a fan of the show, and my personal homie. I can't keep defending you with this. Not 184. I can't. You go on to win, but it's not respectable.
Let me talk about Cedric. The
No.
Matrix. Let me talk about the Matrix real quick. This is exactly what the Matrix are. Last week was an anomaly. Last week
You said that
was
that was everybody has that game is what you
yeah,
said.
that was that game. But this what I'm watching, this
Hmm.
is exactly what the Matrix are. Now, the bigger issue in this game is St. Louis People's Champ. And
Hmm.
I said last week, I said the stack can do their thing, but could Burrow, Chase, and Lamb carry these two flexes, Gus Edwards and Pop Douglas?
You did
And Pop Douglas gave him a 0.
in overtime.
Gus gave him 6.5. Dobbins is the man in LA with the Chargers. He did make a trade. He brought in Sutton. Denver's going through it right now with their rookie quarterback. He does not look like he he's up to speed just yet. And it's really nothing out there in free agency just yet. Maybe some no, show his head,
Hmm.
but if it does, he's got St. Louis. I mean, People's Champ has got to attack free agency because Gus Edwards and Pop Douglas is killing this team.
Mm.
Like you at least got it. You at least if you get 10 out of your flex, it's a good day. You take it, be like, hey, these are the you put your word. In my opinion, I
Mhm.
always have my least players in the flex. If I can get 10 out of my least players, I
It's a good
eat it.
night.
Yeah, it's
It's a
decent.
decent night. Now,
Yeah,
this
you
is where now this is where coaching comes into play. On the bench, he had the cornerback for 13, and he had Elijah Moore. Now you replace that 2, and then one of them flexes that's 6. Or matter of fact, fuck it, that's 0. Look at a
I
different
mean,
game. It's still,
hindsight.
but no. I'm saying it's still crazy, and it's still you got to worry. It's panic time, but at least you 2-0. I mean, or you back to 500. Now, when you get down to them games and it come down, you possibly 7-7. You're gonna look back like the ass kickers did last year when you look back at that Black Republicans game that you lost. That would have been the difference. And I'm just wondering, but go on.
Hindsight is 2020.
Hmm.
I like the Martellus kid because he's not only is he a safety, he's got a cornerback designation,
Hmm.
and Travavius Ward usually is a big time tackle getter. So not starting Benford. I believe that's Benford. He's got on the bench at cornerback. Yeah, not starting Benford. Not gonna kill him for that because, like I said, hindsight is 2020.
It is.
Um,
But to
his
quote you,
problem is
the only move is the what?
the only move is the right move. But again, I'm not gonna kill him. That you gotta
Oh, no, not gonna
these.
kill him.
The problem I have with his defense is this Raiders linebacker. This is second week in a row. This Raiders linebacker is giving you seven type, 7.6 points. I think last week it was trash. And he's had some good games from this kid. But listen, man, he gave you 22-7 last week. He gave you 7-7 this week. And it's some dogs in
Hmm.
free agents. It's some dogs in free agency, and you getting 7-7 from your linebacker. That's unacceptable. And
It
it
is.
0-2 in this division is damn near a death sentence because your
You
next
got
8 game well, you got one more game in division, then your next 8 games outside of division or against team everybody else in the damn league is scoring over 200.
Mm-hmm.
Even the terrible teams. This is the only division where you can get away with winning under 200. So it's problems are coming.
Mm.
Problems are coming. Oh my god.
Yeah, it is. So next week, People's Champion, the Black Republicans face off, and Matrix
Um,
and the Bullyfoots do their thing. So we are done with the whack ass North. That y'all are disgusting.
Matrix. What's
Nasty.
crazy is Matrix could actually be
Win this division.
2 2.
Hmm. That hurts
Oh,
your soul, don't it?
oh
Mm.
If he come out of this division 3-0,
I want you to do this one. I want you to start this one. You got Walker and El Patron. El Patron is 1-0. Walker is 1-0. These two guys are out of the West. And point wise, 30, 31, 34. You got 21, 24, 19, 19. Those are the top three scores, respectively. 215 to 216 on a 50-50 shot. This shit is crazy. It's your world.
yeah, it was crazy. I've been watching this game, and they both been as far as their projections have been fluctuating. At
Mm-hmm.
one point, Matrix was like at one point, Hurricane Walker was like at 230. It looked
Mm-hmm.
like it was over. And El Patron came out the box, especially with
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
And he was up there at 230, and they didn't. So they both look like they're around 215 right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who's gonna win it. I would probably say Hurricane Walker, but his tight end is shit in the bed, which is
Mm-hmm.
why I figured I knew he had Schultz. We go back to the draft. I knew he had Schultz.
Right.
I thought Bowers, if Bowers got to him, especially at 9, that he would
Mm-hmm.
take, but he didn't. And the rookie Brian Thomas Jr. is serving him well. I mean, he's got a good team. I mean, everybody. Honestly, when I look at this team, and like I said, he's projected to do about 215. Trying to figure out where he's hurting at.
Where he's
He's
hurting at, Rashad White shit the bed. His tight end
like,
is shit in the bed.
yeah,
Um,
I
but
guess
other than that, up and down, he could get a better tight end. I mean, not a better tight, a better cornerback. Did he leave anything on the bench? The No, he really didn't, because the defense special team from Green Bay only 2 points higher. He really didn't leave anything on the bench. This is pretty much his best go. Now, those
uh,
2 points from the defense may or may not break the situation.
uh, I mean, Josh Allen didn't have a Josh Allen game, so
I
maybe
think
that's where it is.
think about it. It was more so game script. It's kind of like the same thing we're gonna talk about with New England, and same thing with the Chargers. Now it's the same thing with with this charge. It's game script. Once you get ahead, what am I passing for?
Mm,
So game script kind of dictates a lot, and that's the difference between motherfuckers who done played sports and watch sports. Motherfuckers like us understand that. The other motherfuckers want to sit up and just blah, 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 blah. But it's the difference between watching sports and watching Sports Center. That's all I'm saying.
as far as El Patron go, he had a late scratch with AJ Brown, and eh, I mean,
I
uh,
want to get your opinion on something when you finish your thought. I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry.
I'm just looking. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I mean, you gotta love J.K. Dobbins. He's having a great season.
Hmm.
I figured Jonathan Taylor would bounce back. Anthony Richardson kind of shit the bed.
That was going to be my question. And since you touched on it, my question is this: last week, excellent game, crazy game. This week, is this, in your opinion, is this the real Anthony Richardson, or was last week a fluke, or was last week the real Anthony Richardson, and this a fluke? I mean,
Anthony
three interceptions.
Yeah.
Normally, another any other motherfucker would have got benched for that.
Nah, you don't bench. It's like saying you're gonna bench Patrick Mahomes. You get to 3 or 4 interceptions, yeah. But I mean, it was a 10-16 game. You're not gonna bench. He's
Three
a
interceptions is
bull.
three interceptions.
Yeah, it don't matter. But I mean, in a 10-16 game, you're gonna bench your
Oh no,
quarterback.
I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying that I'm sorry.
Listen, he's a dual threat quarterback. So
Hmm.
for fantasy, he's always a threat. He's gonna have these type games. You deal with it, but he didn't run as much this game. So you just got to tip your hat to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of they got 37 yards rushing, so did okay. I mean, yeah, 3 interceptions. You're just gonna have those type of games, man. I mean, this is well, I think it's really a sixth start,
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna have those
That's
type of games.
that's 30 games since I mean since college. 30 from
Yeah,
from the end of high school to right now. That's 30 games.
you
Actually,
gotta you
really
gotta
29, but it's 30
get
games.
you get to what it's like your sixth start. You won't have bad games. Every young quarterback has bad games. You just deal with it.
Mhm.
Deal with it. No
So
biggie.
who wins, Walker or Mo?
Ah,
Mm.
I'm gonna go with
I'm a
I'm gonna go
one,
with El Patron.
two. Yeah, I was gonna go say yeah, El Patron. El Patron kind of pulls it out, but if he don't, it's gonna be close. Definitely gonna be close. Shout out to El Patrons and shout out to Chuck Ball. Next up, Cheese the motherfucking Don and the New
Hmm.
North Siders. Now, I am going to go ahead and start with Cheese the Don. First off, congratulations to Cheese the Don. The way it's appearing, you're going to go ahead and get back to 500 after the loss to the ass kickers last week. But you're going to get back to 500. But it's showing you hitting your average. You hit 215 last week. You were right around 222 this week. 99% chance to win. Kamara with 50 points. That is crazy. So you take 30 away from Cheese to Don. Kamara can get you 20 easy. But if you take away that other 30 that Kamara got, you are now below 200. You have never finished above 5-9. You took over a fourth place team. And you the homie. And I'm just giving you this I am fair and balanced across the board. I'm giving the way I see it. You take 30 points away and you're below 200. Damn near close to 190. So Olave is doing Olave things. Your third best point score was your defense with 14. New Northsiders, you motherfuckers is old. You did everything you could in the off season to try to put lipstick on this turd, and it still ain't pretty. Just because you pour syrup on shit don't make it pancakes. Matthew Stafford for 7. Lockett, he's getting old. He just is 4. Johnson 4. Kittle 22. You got a goose egg from Bigsby, but he got hurt early. Um, I wish I could say you left some shit on the bench. You really only left about 15 on the bench, which would have got you to a respectable shitty 180. I don't know, man. Y'all old. Cheese the Don. You took over a fourth place team. If you finish 5-9, you might as well change your name for every team to 5-9. And that's all I got. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick a winner in this shit. I'm gonna go Cheese the Don.
Yeah, she should win this pretty easily. Kamara, and you get 50 points from anybody, and you don't win. Something's wrong. But yeah, I mean, he has problems on this team
Mm-hmm.
as far as season done, and it goes. His problems go in that flex. Ertz had a decent game.
Yeah,
Chase Brown has not
Conklin
been.
didn't.
Yeah, Conklin didn't. So
So
yeah.
again, you take a respectable 20 points
I
from
wasn't,
Rivera.
I
Nobody
wasn't, I
gives a.
wasn't,
Everybody's going to respect and give 20 points to Cabrera. That's still a great score. That's still a great game. But he's
no,
capable of having a great game week after week. And the anomaly will be that off week. But if you take 30 points,
no.
nigga,
I don't want to do that because Hurts hasn't played yet. Hurts to
hmm
easily get 25 points. He still got a defensive tackle that's going. He had a few duds. His punter, hey, you just never know with punters and kickers. Sometimes, they have good games. Sometimes they don't. His defense though,
Mhm.
I mean, it's some. I ain't gonna say it's something missing. Um, he had a good game. The bigger problem here is New Northsiders. Listen. Ah, T. Higgins is hurt, but
Mhm.
now Cups. They saying T. Higgins might come back next week, but now
That's what
they
they
say
saying.
Cup was seen leaving in a walking boot. Uh, ugh, that Rams offense is really good, but it's very fragile. It
Okay.
is very fragile. So Stafford, ugh, you know, that's 7 points from Stafford is that's bad.
Mhm.
And what's
'Cause,
crazy
who
is
else does he have?
he's got he's got Aaron Rodgers who has 16. I don't know if that would have made a difference. His He didn't get his defense. He didn't get a cornerback out who was out. So sometimes that happens. Um, but mm,
Is
what's
Tyler
crazy is
is Tyler Lockett being huh?
at the beginning of the year, he actually had David Carr on his team,
Mhm.
and he traded David Carr to team commish.
Mhm.
We all thought out of the three that was the worst, so he traded what he thought is the worst. But David Carr is in this new offense with
Going
the Saints,
crazy.
and the Saints are going. They are just being ridiculous.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Um, really, when I get down to it, the overall thing with this is Cheese the Don, you should win this. It's not a if, it's a should. New Northsiders, I respect the hustle. You did everything you could and even came out of your box of, dealing interdivision. That's always been a rule of yours that I don't deal interdivision, and you broke that in an effort to try to improve yourself. And it just didn't happen. This is where you're continuing your streak of below 200 games going back to last year. You take the last 4 or 5 games, they were under 200. Then you had an above 200, and then you continue down the path. Hey, I got Cheese to Don going out winning this, and they should win it easily. But hopefully, you do better than 5-9 with the fourth place team.
We'll see. We'll see. He's done a lot of changes from that team. I think the only holdovers are Kamara, Diggs, Olave. Everybody else is pretty much
Hmm.
traded out. We'll see how he goes. Right now, Cheese Don is tough to call because he has had 2 games of 225. So, I mean, 225. No matter how you get it, some things ain't sustainable, but a 225 game is a 225 game.
It
So
is.
that's 2 games of 225. We'll see
Actually, it was
how.
215, and then their minimum score the last 2 games 215. They should finish out this one, what, 222?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he do week 3
Okay.
against.
Next up, we have the Gronk and the Missouri
mm,
Kings that were in a slobber knocker. Listen, both of these teams are 0-1. Both of these teams really needed this win going into next week, especially with their next opponents, because both of them have a formidable opponent next week. So both of them need this game to not go into that formidable game down 0-2 to go out of division, possibly 0-3. Now, this projection right now, Missouri Kings is projected to hit 255. Shout out to the motherfucking Kings. The Gronk, you are projected to hit 225 in a loss. And I'm going to say Godwin, damn near 30 points. Great trade. Gino still out there doing Gino thing. And shout out to your sister, the GM of the year last year, getting you McBride for 20. On the Gronk side, Nico, who as you said in the chat room, Brian groomed this guy for a couple of years, 2 years, and the Gronk is reaping the benefits. 25 points. Fred Warner, 21 points for the defense. On this whole thing, Gronk and Kings and Gronk, both of y'all need this game. Both of you guys have real formidable opponents next week. Going into that next game, down 0-2 is not a death sentence, but it's you got, yeah. And until you get to the whack ass motherfuckers in the north, it's gonna be hard pickings because everybody's averaging pretty much, depending on where you at the south, around 255, except for the Lions. That's a pretty, let's say 240 for the division. Gronk, your division, you got you 225. You're supposed to be winning this division, like really, and you're 0-1, and with the potential to go down 0-2. So I'm not going to say you guys can panic. You guys can go out there and make up some games, but it's better to make up one game versus two, going down 2-1.
It's panic time. It's panic time.
For both of us. But
No, for the Gronk. I think it's panic time for the Gronk. Listen. It's always the potential for the type of game that the Kings are having. You hate it when it's on you. Like this was supposed to be a win for the Gronk, and the Kings have come out
with their shit kickers on.
With the potential of 255, which is crazy. That is crazy. So I mean, the King was flying on all cylinders, And, man, I've seen the Gronk has put Michael Pittman Jr. up for a trade. If you look in the activities, he said he's likely to trade him, and he's also willing to trade Mark Andrews. So both of those, if you look at recent activities, he put that out there for the league to see. So if you wasn't paying attention, if you want Mark Andrews or if you want Michael Pittman Jr., who's seen him in AR-15 ain't on the same page these first 2 weeks of the season, but they are available for trade. As far as Kings go, man, just shout out to the King. What a week! What a week! The Zamir White.
I was going to touch on that.
Zamir White trade is really starting to look like a dud. But
can I go through them?
What a week!
Can I go through them? Zamir White was in on a Darnell Mooney, Adam Thielen, Rashawn Bateman, and Zamir White, and you gave up your first round next year. Now, two sides to this. This is week 2. Your first round based off of week 2 don't look all that super hype. But based off the trade and what I saw, and I can only speak for me, I told you got fucked. I told you got fucked. I let everybody know you got fucked. And I kept on telling you got fucked. But you didn't want to listen. Your cousin continues to fuck you every fucking year. And this is why the Kokamish had the ban, because he saw the bullshit for what it is. Now, you could have this 255 team. Let's just say it's sustainable at 220. You make the playoffs and you still got your first next year to expound on. But you want to keep letting your cousin fuck, who I keep telling you don't give a fuck about you, but it is what it is. And that's my spiel on it.
I mean, listen, sometimes you gotta go. You make some trades. I wasn't mad at the trade at the time, so it hasn't worked out. Yeah, you were, but it's some trades that you be mad at and they work out for some people. You didn't like the Godwin Stevenson trade.
I did not like the trade, but you know what? One trade is that people got involved in. Remember the Watson trade for the second? The Aaron Rodgers, and everybody jumped on that. Sometimes it's best just mind your business.
So I mean, hey, some trades work out, some don't. I'm not gonna kill I say, I'm not gonna kill you for trades not working out, and
Vast
sometimes they just
majority,
don't work
the vast majority of the trades that he has done with the Lions has what?
out.
Huh? Has what?
Eh, not
Has
all of
what?
them. Not all of them.
I said most of them.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah.
Don't answer that. I'm not saying you understand. You want to
It's
be
a
picky.
great win for the Missouri Kings
Yeah.
this
Shout out to
week.
the
Let's
Missouri
see
Kings.
how
You got
they
to
look next week.
shout out to the Kings. They be saying I don't fuck with you, little Larry, but I fucks with you. Next up, we got the ass kickers versus
Mm,
Lord Hate. Sparks
mm.
Bucks. Currently, both of these teams are 1-0. Both of these teams again need this win, so hopefully it gets them out of Division 3-0 with that all important one game lead to take over first place. This team has a current possibility to get 211 and 206. Currently sit 179. Bowers. 20 points. Mason.
Why we said
Mason.
Bauer? Why we said Bauer should have been a number 4 pick in the draft, but
You know, it costs
somehow he made it to 10.
to
But
10.
this is why we thought it would be foolish to take Bowers any place other than 4. But hey, it worked out.
Hmm.
Great game for Bowers. 20 points for your rookie tight end is, man,
It's fantastic.
that's what people dream about.
Yes. 20 points from Mason and 18 from McFadden. We're not even gonna talk about Mason because we know that Mason was tried to be a gift, but we're gonna get our 20
Mason,
points.
Mason was excellent. I'll say Mason was excellent vision on the ass kickers for us because not too many people in fantasy, not just this league, in fantasy would have held on to Mason for as long as you did, would have put in the time, even though he was third on the depth chart. And the vision that I didn't see it, vision you seen is going to pay off because not only is CMC hurt, they saying 6-7 weeks,
Hmm. At the
and
minimum.
yeah, in 2 weeks in a row he didn't hit 100 yards. So
Mhm. And then McFadden. Now, I remember in a chat room somebody said to the words somebody was chasing points. And it was somebody had dropped I believe it was Okariki and folks was looking at it.
mm,
Anyway, McFadden got 18. Then on the other side, Sparks Bucks, JSN, 27. Zay Flowers, 23. Hutchinson, a dub. These motherfuckers is the real damn deal. These people have come out to play. Worthy, 6 points. Nobody expected that. Taysom Hill, I don't know why you went out there and got that dude. Dude is a gimmick guy. He's a boomer bust guy. You do something different in the Taysom Hill spot, like say
in Miami,
Miami. You got Johnny Smith. You could have did something different. Your
very good.
points on the bench. On the other side, look, the Filipino Hawaiian guy, the third string Acevedo, 2 touchdowns. Herbert out there doing his thing. Up and down, the ass
Did
kickers.
you start
This is
him?
really huh?
Did you start him?
Did I what? No, I
Did you?
did. No, I did not. I did not. I did not. But I do
Why,
remember.
why are
I
we?
do remember
Why,
this. Huh?
oh, why are we? Why are we giving all this love to somebody that's on the bench? We didn't
Uh,
give love. We didn't give. Oh well, you know what? Let's stop it. We haven't hit that part.
Lad McConkey with 5. That's not gonna do it. Jalen Reed with 7. That's not gonna do it. But Malik Willis.
Yeah, your son. Well, let's not just slingshot past Lad McConkey. Oh no.
Hmm.
I'm looking at Lad McConkey.
Hmm.
4 targets,
Hmm.
2 receptions, 26. Is he the number one guy in LA, the Chargers?
I
Because
still,
I heard all
I,
offseason he's the number one.
I also heard that he was, but shout out to QJ. And I didn't do this in the World Boss. Hey, World Boss, I know you watch, especially because now this dude over here. Shout out to QJ. QJ got 2 touchdowns today. He didn't have any drops that I saw, and he's week 2 dude coming on. So I'll stand down on week 2, but everything I said prior to that is facts. Lad McConkey had a shit game. Now outside of now, does you think after QJ got his 2 touchdowns? Game
Mm-hmm.
script says that they what?
They're gonna run the ball. I mean, they're
Okay.
gonna run the ball before he
Mm-hmm.
gets a touchdown. But I mean, I'm just asking, what's he the number one guy,
We're gonna
or
see.
has the
It's a
tide
long.
turned?
It might have turned. You heard it here first, folks. If the tide turned, you heard it here first. Coleman, Coleman, Coleman is another victim of game script, in my
Oh,
opinion. But at the end of the day,
I
that's
don't
still
know about.
unacceptable. That is
I'm a
unacceptable for a team whose philosophy is instant impact. You must have instant impact. And that is this team's philosophy. And Coleman did not do it this week. Is Coleman coming out to start the lineup? Nah, probably not. But I think he'll do better and be better once everything kind of gels. It's the same thing with Polk. Polk is going to hit the starting lineup when May takes over. But right now, it's very close. It's 77-23. Smith's still going tomorrow night. At the end of this game, CJ Stroud, I think that's their last go. So we're going to see. We'll have a better picture of this. I still got the ass kickers going 2-0 and Lord Hate going down back to 500.
So you got the ass kickers going tomorrow, Monday night. They got Philly
Mm-hmm. Head
head
coach.
coach and Smith,
Yes.
and looking like they'll finish tonight at 179, depending on what corrections are made overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So right now they're down 20 with about still a quarter left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be tough.
Tough.
I
Especially
mean,
if Stroud go off in the fourth.
AJ Brown
Because
is not.
if just in case y'all didn't know, we do this Sunday night while y'all watching the game. We doing this here for y'all. We took time away to do this shit for y'all. But go ahead, hey, you know what? And again, I appreciate my motherfucking co-host because I know you got to get up early. So shout out to you. I really appreciate you, dog.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna come. This might be our first Monday night miracle game because
Mm,
it looks like you're gonna need a good. We'll see how the fourth quarter go, but you could end up needing 30 points, and
mm,
30. I feel more comfortable with 20.
yeah, and who
30.
wouldn't?
Ooh, 30 is tough.
Mm,
30 is tough because Smith could get 20, 25, and
if he had AJ Brown.
the Philly head coach. Whew.
It's tough. But now AJ Brown, he doesn't have that buffer because everybody's going to be looking at AJ Brown. But is Atlanta defense that tough?
It's just 30 points. I mean,
30 big
like I said,
at you.
if it's 20, like I think Smith is good for 16 to 20, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. But when you start talking, and then the Philly deep, the head coach, I mean, the head coach they could win the game, and the head coach only gets 7, 8 points, and that's 8 points
That's
is a
not enough.
good. That's a good, it's a good day. 8, 9 points is a good day for a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's 30 and you know Smith get 20 and head coach get 9. I guess we gotta see, right? Like I say, right now he's up 20.
Well, we'll see. We'll
Projected,
get to the
projected
too close to
finish
call.
tonight. Yeah, projected to finish the night at because he's done after tonight. So it's projected to finish the night with about a 25
205.
point, 25 point lead. If you stay right where you at, you still got a kicker going, so that kicker could pull you in closer too. So we'll see. But that's gonna be a Monday night game where we might be up all night Monday watching. Now probably our first one of the season.
Yeah.
The
How
ass
did we
kickers,
have last year?
we had a few.
We had.
Ass kickers go 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with you, this would be a complete shock. I did not. I actually had the ass kickers winning 3 games the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
So come out of this thing 3-0, where they'll be 2-0 if they win this game. But
They got
come out of
Northsiders
this,
next week.
yeah. So come out of
That's what.
3-0.
Yeah, come here. This wasn't me. He got Northsiders next week. Well, what did you say? What was it?
Yeah, I mean they hurt. And T. Higgins ain't playing. Cup got hurt today.
Mm.
Stafford is shaky. I mean, and they searching. They flexes. They searching. They starting 2 tight ends. Kittle got busy, but Kittle's up and down. If Kittle have one good game and you got him next week, feel good because he already had that good game.
Bring it in, y'all. Bring it in. And I want you to look at me. I want you to look at me in my eyes, sir. Well, remember when we had the discussion about Malik Willis. And I remember not only in the chat room, but also on the show, it was, you gotta, it's panic time. I wouldn't trust Malik to do blah, blah, blah. But my rationale for the ass kickers and their thought process. Do you have anything that you would like to say in reference to if they win game 2 versus with the rationale that they had? Is there anything you'd like to say, sir?
Listen, Malik Willis was ass. Okay, 122 yards. I mean, he got some rushing yards. He got 14 points. That's a great night for anybody else. Like Patrick Mahomes had 15. The ass for Patrick Mahomes, but Malik with 14. That's a great game. But he did exactly what I thought. I mean, I didn't see Jacob rushing for 150 yards.
I told you that though.
Well, nobody predicted. I mean, they had like 237 as a team, 237 rushing yards at the half. I don't know what they finished with, but I know they had like 237 at the half. But Reed took a hit. All the wide receiver,
As you said, you called that. You called that shit, and I will give you that. You called that. You said that the wide receiver core was going to take a hit.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, a win is a win. So I'll give it up to Willis. Hey, and if you come out of this 2-0, that's just all money in the bank.
As the world boss used to say, I'm playing with house money.
House money. I mean, let's get to it, man.
Yeah.
We know this last game. This is what we're here for. Let's get to the show.
I'll go ahead because I want to finish. I'll go ahead and let you get started. We have the world boss 0-1 against the U City Lions 0-1. Both of these cats need this game, and I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'll just go ahead and finish out.
World boss. Let's give it up. Look, let's give it up to the world boss. He had amazing game. His before the his projection was 244 before the game started. Right now, he's projected to do 249. And outside of Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels just not being on the same page, this is everything he envisioned. Everything that happened today is everything
he envisioned. Personal for me.
He envisioned from getting Bijan, getting Charbonnet. His plan for Charbonnet is he figured Walker would get hurt and Charbonnet would take over. Charbonnet
and I'll eat some crow on that. I'll let you finish, but I'll go ahead. I'll eat some crow on that. I'm gonna do my thing. Gotcha.
I'll go ahead. And then Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson had his breakout game today. 5 receptions, 51 yards, 2 TDs. Everything that World Boss envisioned happened today. Now, can it happen?
Except
I don't see no except.
it's
Go ahead.
he been saying it.
Oh, his stack. Yeah, his stack was ass because Jaden Daniels don't throw the damn ball. Jaden Daniels, like I ain't throwing no interceptions. So I'm just gonna keep the ball in my hand. Terry McLaurin, 6 receptions for 22. See, this is the problem with Jaden Daniels, which I don't understand because in college, that was
Mhm.
his big thing is he threw the fucking ball. He threw a deep ball better than anybody in college. And he threw it deep,
Moonshine.
threw it long.
Mhm.
But Terry McLaurin, his number one wide receiver, had 6 catches for 22 yards. What the fuck is that? It's like throwing it behind the
I heard
line of scrimmage every time.
that.
So he won't throw the ball. It seems like he won't throw the ball farther than 10 yards down the field. Mike Evans, Mike Evans, Mike Evans has these games from time to time where he gets you under 10 and then he'll come back with a 20, 30 point game. I think the biggest thing is Shaheed. 2 games in a row where Shaheed has just went off. Uh, so then we got to go to the other side.
And the other side is
U City Lions. Week 1, I was a little hyperbolic, and I said this team is dead. That's what I said. I said the Lions are dead. A
you.
little hyperbolic, but listen, it's man. Look,
They're currently projected to hit 179.
Devontae Adams went off. So I mean, Devontae Adams still got us 2 games in a row. James Conner still has it for
Mm-hmm.
now. But here's
He traded Devontae Adams for was that 14 or 18? 14?
14.
Who
Yep.
went at 14? Do you remember?
Brooks.
Brooks. Okay.
Jonathan Brooks. Yeah, I drafted Jonathan Brooks. Oh, here's his problem. Here's his problem. Kelsey is old. Kelsey, I think he came back because it was a three-peat. I think if it wasn't a three-peat involved, trying to do something nobody's never done,
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey would have retired with his brother.
Yes.
But his bigger problem is Justin Herbert, his
Oh.
head coach.
Mm-hmm.
His head coach is not playing that 5,000 yard stuff. Hey, we're gonna run the ball. We're gonna control it. We're
Control
gonna
clock.
win football games.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think Justin Herbert's new normal is somewhere between 12 and 18 points. No longer
Okay.
is he that dog where he's throwing
25, 28, 30 points.
400 yards. No, listen, these last 2 weeks, I think he's thrown for less than 150 yards both
I
times.
want to say both games, yeah.
Eckler's maintaining, but Eckler's on ball time. Like the writings on the wall. Najee every year has been going steadily down.
I'm sorry.
Every year.
Can you speak into my good ear? Can you
Listen,
speak?
he did it last year, but if you look at his projections from his rookie year to now, it's a slope that is going down. It's steadily. I mean,
People
now
said
it
I
looks
was
like
hating. People said I
last
was
year it
hating.
looked like he was a good 14 to 15 a week guy. Now it's looking like he's a good 10 points a week guy.
That's what he was last year, really.
He
At
got
best,
about
12. He got a couple of games. I'll let you finish before I take over. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Um, I'm gonna finish up on the Najee Harris point. Again, as you said, it's a steady decline. When I was speaking on that, people deemed it as hate. And even though I showed multiple pundits, multiple articles, it's the same thing with Miller. When you show multiple articles, it's not hate. This is that people see what the person sees. But Najee is going to continue to be a 9, 10 point guy. And if you want a 9, 10 point guy in your starting lineup, go for it. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking the fact that you went ahead and fucked your cousin out of his shit next year and offloaded a bunch of bullshit. Thielen, Brad, I'm not even gonna rehash it, but you unloaded a bunch of bullshit that you knew you didn't want to keep, and you knew that would motherfucker take a flyer on it because it's nothing, but you sold it all into a bunch of one shit sandwich off the fucking help, and you fed it to your cousin. So with that being said, you move on, and this to me, this is the fantasy football gods punishing your motherfucking ass because you are a fucking leech. You are a parasite. You sit up there, you do all of that shit, and I'm gonna keep talking. You are a fucking clown, and then you out there, and every year you fuck your cousin, and you keep fucking him, and you keep fucking him. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. So at the end of the day, this is the fantasy football guys bombing on your motherfucking ass. You are the second place team. You led the league in bragging rights. You led the league in scoring. You did all of that shit just 6 months ago. Just 6 months ago with these same niggas. And you added Devontae Adams. It's your best score. Because you know why? You got him on your own. You got him on your own. You didn't fuck nobody to get it. So at the end of the day, the rest of this bullshit, everything is fucking falling apart like I told you it would. Najee Harris, 935. His backup, 9.0. Your backup is doing the same numbers as your starter. Your wide receiver, Lazard, you paid $100 for that nigga. $100 for that nigga because he had a good game because Brett Favre was doing his thing.
What's crazy? Crazy? Because we was in the room and I asked him, "Hey, this before CMC went to IR, I said, hey, if CMC go to IR, what you gonna do?"
Pierce.
He said Pierce, and he said Pierce, and he said that was his guy. That was his guy.
He said, that's my guy, Pierce. I'm gonna start Pierce, and he laughed and talked that shit. He didn't address the fact that he had a gift in Mason. I begged you. I begged you, and I gonna let you turn. Go ahead, because I'm gonna finish this statement. I begged you to take not only the picks but the players. I gave you an out because I saw it, and like he said, I told you what it was, but you was more concerned about fucking your cousin. So all of this comes down to Keenan Allen out. You've been riding Keenan Allen for years. Najee Harris is steady on the downcline. Herbert steady on the downcline. Motherfucking Lazard, you paid $100 for him at 3 points. James Conner is because you know why? You got him on your own. You didn't fuck nobody over to get it. This is what we call fantasy football karma, my nigga. And it is what it is. Fantasy football karma is catching up with you. And that's
my problem with him.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, my problem with him is he said he's gonna start Pierce. He didn't start Pierce. Pierce had another good game, 19-2. And you starting Palmer and Lazard, but I mean, like I said in the room, you told us Pierce.
You told us Pierce.
You should have stuck with what you said. He did have Marlon Humphreys on his team, and he got rid of Marlon Humphreys for Stevens, this cornerback.
Tolbert could have went in there.
Brandon Stevens, in which gave him 4 points. Stevens, and he got Slay going tomorrow. But Marlon Humphreys went off for 17 points. I mean, he wouldn't have won. Even if he put both of them in perfect line, he wouldn't have won.
But 179? Yeah. 179? You're not going to address the second game under 200?
Under 200. Hey, man, this is a mess. It is a mess. And
And we're gonna get to you, World Boss. We're not gonna disrespect you, but we
Not
got
world
to talk about the Lions because they're the second place team. And as you said, brother, he a mess. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've already addressed world boss. Oh, look, this is a mess. This is a mess, and CMC might not come back till after the 49ers bye. 49ers in real football are trying to win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
So they want him as healthy and as fresh towards the playoffs as they can.
Mm-hmm.
This team cannot afford to wait till week 10 to get CMC back. Listen, he fucked up on the Mason thing. Listen, I'm not saying I wouldn't have made the same mistake, but at the end of the day, the only move that matters is the right
Right
move.
move.
And you didn't make the right move. And this is fucked up. This is this is pathetic.
It is. And 179. This is where a lot of your statements don't age well. I got the best running back in the league. No, I got the number one player in the league 6 months ago. Talked all that shit off season.
Mm.
I got my quarterback is this and I got it all figured out. You only come in there when you had the world boss this week, but I'm insignificant. But you spent all your time on me. Actually said the words, you are what?
He said he was one of the worst teams in the league.
You said I was one of the worst teams in the league.
He actually had a
You
good comment that made me chuckle where he said, no, it did. I ain't gonna lie. It really made me laugh. He said you were worried about his team scoring 215, but you were struggling to score 200
mm-hmm.
in protection.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's at 179. I mean, whew,
Mm-hmm.
this is
Dreadful. It's disastrous. It is deplorable for
it's bad.
a second place team. The first place team and the second place team, y'all niggas is trash. And not only is I'm only on the second place team right now. You said at your ranked according to ESPN, you're projected to finish 15th since you all about the projections, Mr. I'm all about the projections. You're projected to be the 15th team. I'm looking at 170. Oh, it went down to 178 as we are sitting here recording. It is no longer 179. That is your second consecutive game under 200. And you had so much yap, so much mouth. You wanted to bet your cousin's first round pick against scoring higher. And you come in the room. I see your panties, nigga. I see your pussy print. You's a whole hoe out here. You come in there, oh Marv, good game, and then you walk away. You don't want to address the Mason thing. You don't want to address the Simmons thing who got you 2 points. You don't want to address the 178 thing that you got going on. You want to sit up I don't talk to motherfuckers that didn't make the playoffs. Nigga, look like you not finna make the playoffs because you going down 0-2. And it would be different if you was going down 0-2 scoring 225s because the South is brutal. Everybody knows that. And I give mad, this is me giving mad props to the niggas in the South because the South is brutal. But it's not like you hitting 225, 248 like the world boss on your way out division. You are consecutively and consistently below 200, and then you just come into the room after talking all that bullshit and just come in and say good game and walk away. I see your pussy print, nigga, and I already know when you get to betting your ego bets and whatnot, you irritated like you got some sand in your vagina, nigga. So at the end of the day, I touched the nerve and it felt good. So enjoy your 179 and you'll enjoy your 15th place. That's where I'm at, motherfuckers.
All right.
So your segment, nigga, what did we miss in free agency?
What did we miss? Listen,
What?
this is good.
Hey, you know what? Before you get, I want to say to y'all, this is new to me, and I'm excited about this. I love this segment. I actually look forward to this segment. So shout out to Roy for the Records Crew because he does a lot of research to this, and I look forward to this. I spent some money based off what we missed in the
And listen,
motherfucking free agency. So Roy, it's yours, baby. Go for it.
it's time for us to spend some more money. This is the second week in a row that the Saints head coach has hit 20 and 19 points a game. And that offense is humming in New Orleans.
Man.
Hey, if this head coach don't get bid on this week, it says more about how rub the league is, especially some of these teams. Look at your team, you know you
Look
need
at your
that.
team. You see it.
That 19 points would have came in lovely.
For
Would
a
have made
lot of niggas, shit.
it would
El
have
Patron and Hurricane Walkers.
everybody who looking at their squad thinking, man, I didn't know, but if I did, hey, that'll clean all my sins. So
Mhm.
see him out there. Go get you a nice little head coach. We got 2 kickers. Now the Washington kicker, I don't know if that's game script for him or not. But this Raiders kicker, he had a bad week 1, but 20 points. And Daniel Carter
Game winner.
is usually on somebody's squad. I don't know why he's not this year. I don't know everybody's kicker situation, but if you need a kicker, uh, you got the Washington Commanders kicker and you got the Raiders kicker. Washington Commanders kicker, listen, Jaden Daniels can move the goddamn ball, but he obviously can't get it into the fucking end zone. So they're gonna kick a lot of goddamn field goals.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need a goddamn kicker, there you go. Now, this I took listen. Last week I told y'all who the 2 guys I was going after. I went after them and I got
Allie?
outbid.
Mm-hmm.
I got outbid by you, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
This week, this fucking guy, Nick Cross, he done had 2 games. One game, week 1, 14-7. Told y'all to go get him. I didn't get him. Told y'all to go get him. 14 tackles week 1. Week 2 against Green Bay, 15 tackles, 17 points. If this guy makes it another week, which I doubt he will because I'm putting in a bid, that's crazy. 14, 17. If you
That's the
looking at
linebacker, right?
safety, he a safety.
Oh,
A safety. Yeah.
sorry.
A safety. So you're looking at if you're watching this segment and you're looking at your team, your safety ain't do 17.
You see it. I see it. We see it.
Yeah. So there you go. Now, cornerbacks. We talked about Marlon Humphreys getting dropped 17. Marlon Humphreys usually is always good. Another guy who was number 1 last week is this Alante Taylor for the Saints. Last week he had 17-7. This week, Lattimore was out. He put up 12-45. The cornerback market is been going crazy. I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
With a minimum of 15
of double digits.
Mm.
If you need a cornerback and your cornerback getting you 4 points 2 weeks in a row, you got to stop dealing with that shit. I know it. Sometimes cornerback is unpredictable, so you might want to hold on another week. I get it, but if you're looking at these numbers and then you're looking at your team 0-2, you gotta stop dealing with that shit.
Got to.
Got to. Defensive line. Oh my God. Now this dude didn't step up week 1. But week 2, and ESPN he was actually one of the top rated projection guys. I mean, the projection was like 5, but it was still up there. And ESPN always get his dude props. This dude, Dennis Gardeck from the Cardinals. This motherfucker had 18 points.
You bullshit me. You bullshit me.
6 tackles, 3 sacks against the Rams.
3 sacks against the Rams. He put Stafford on his ass 3 times.
Yeah. And
Stafford dick in the dirt 3
Baltimore Baltimore had a guy who I'm putting in a claim for. Played against the Raiders. It's his second week in a row. Last week he had 5. This week he had 15, 2.5 sacks. I'm putting in a claim for the guy. He makes tackles. It's there's some defensive ends if you need one out there. Defensive tackles that's out there. Now linebacker. Jermaine Pratt for the Bengals. Last week, he didn't do all that hot last week. Yeah, he only had 8 points last week. This week playing against the Chiefs, 16 tackles, 18 points. You looking at your linebacker and like, come on. This dude, Josie Jules for the last week, he didn't do that great. Only 7.76. But we were just talking about Brandon and that Raiders linebacker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This guy got him 18. Brandon could use them
fucking team.
18 points, 11 tackles, and 18 points overall. Brandon, you know you could use this motherfucker. Put in the claim.
That's a shot. That's a direct shot at motherfucking Brandon. Let you know, hey, if you don't go bid on this nigga, he gonna smack the dog piss out of you.
Put in a claim. Now, as far as offensive guys, I've been hearing we got a guy in the chat room. Oh, I need a tight end. I need a tight end. I need a tight end.
You got a tight end for him?
Mike Gesicki with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Fun fact: who drafted Mike Gesicki?
World Boss draft.
The nigga who's screaming that they need a what?
Tight end. And today he had 17-3. He knew with Cincinnati. Week 1, he didn't have a great week 1. He had 5 points. That ain't terrible for a tight end. I mean, it's bad, but it ain't terrible. It's a tight end. But 17 today. If you need a tight end, that Cincinnati offense, he's starting to make his way. You better put in a claim if you need a tight end. Jacksonville.
And I'm hearing things out of the I'm tight with the ass kicker crew. You better bid high. Better bid high.
Now, wide receiver,
a backup tight end when you got a potential number 1 tight end like Laporta had last year. Still want a little bit of production, and Gesicki is good for 8 to 10 every week, I think.
There you go.
So,
and that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Hey, you know what? This was a great show. It was an excellent eye-opening experience on the look. If you guys like the segment of what I miss in free agency, drop a comment. Let a motherfucker know how because this is his brainchild. This is his baby, and I want to give his flowers. I love the segment. I learned something. You learned something. And if you need a tight end, I'm just saying, bid high. So I got shit. Cause that's all I got. Go ahead and say goodbye to the people, dog.
Just want to let everybody know it's on. Like my jump shot.
He stole that. I'm just going. Hey, from me to you, from you to yours, and everybody out there. At the end of the day, Brian, we see your pussy print. Everybody else, y'all have a good week. We see you motherfuckers on Thursday, week 3, baby. Thursday morning quarterback.
Woo! Oh.